Hello, I'm Crickets, and welcome back to I Have a Story. Today, I'm going to teach you how to spot a corrupt court system from a mile away. Actually, you can use this, figure out a corrupt court system from the other side of the planet. It's really easy. I've learned this over, what is it now? Roughly 17, 18 years of being wrongfully, illegally, and unconstitutionally prosecuted by these court systems. I've been sharing it with throughout my channel. I learned from experience, because I pay attention, how to spot a corrupt court system. The experiences I've had in my life have taught me a lot of knowledge. I'm here to share it with you. So here's how you spot a corrupt court system from not only a mile away, but the other side of the planet. You look at the attorneys. And what I mean by that is, well, let's look at the statistics here that I just pulled up, because I was curious. I've already figured this one out, but I needed some statistics to help support me here. And this is a very big problem I have that I've been talking about over and over on my channel. How today we're supposed to have technology that was supposed to make us smarter, give us the facts. Well, when I pull up on and ask AI on Google how many graduates we get every year out of the law graduates, it's going to tell me, I can't read this, if it's 35,000, 30-some thousand roughly numbers. Well, on the same page, when you scroll down just a little bit on Google search, we end up also getting 100,000. How do you know what's right anymore? How? These numbers should match. They shouldn't be off by 3 times the amount. So what is actually true? I don't even know anymore, because this world is just nothing but fed full of delusion. A number, a statistic is a fact. It should match no matter where you look. I don't know who this Data USA is, but this is what, and you get the little drop down boxes on your Google search, this is what they're showing me. But AI tells me 30-some thousand. So either way, let's just go with the 35,000 number figure here. If 35,000 graduates every single year come out of law school, where do they go? Well, let me explain this to you. You basically have 2 types of attorneys. Just like everything else in the world, you got your good ones and you got your bad ones. Your bad ones will do this to you every time. But there's also 2 types of bad attorneys. The 2 types of bad attorneys are, number 1, the ignorant ones. And I don't even know how some of these attorneys ever passed law school, except for if you go back and watch the videos I've made about how so many people I've watched fake school, get passed through school, and never earned it themselves. That explains an awful lot why we have so many incompetent people with law degrees and with medical degrees and with degrees in general. Talked about my sister's husband all the way back in late 90s, 2000-ish. Back in that, we're talking 25 plus years ago. She was going into his classes. This was long before we had the modern ideologies that we have going on now. She used to go in and sign in as him and sit in his seat and pass his tests for him. And that's how he passed school. Makes a 6-figure salary. And didn't even have to earn it himself. But he praises himself like he's a god, let me tell you. All these people do. I had an attorney who had been a bankrupt, all he had done, bankruptcy, for over 20 years. After I got sick, ended up in the hospital, lost my business, and then the court system's illegally in it. Even the state of Michigan validated, yeah, it was illegal, they can't do that. She even asked me, does the judge there know the law? Does anybody in that court system know the law? I recorded it all. But then in the end, even though it was her job to do something about it, she said, sorry, nothing we can do. Then why are you there? You just listen to the stories and then tell people to go screw off? I've had it with it. I've had it with all of these systems. Excuse me, people. I'm so emotional over this. To the point where I'm ready to be done all the way around. So we had a bankruptcy attorney who could not handle, I mean, he didn't know that you were supposed to bring paperwork to court to submit when we showed up into court, and he's been a bankruptcy attorney, and that's all he's done for over 20 years, and he didn't know we were supposed to show up to court with paperwork. Had to postpone our date after we sat in front of the judge and said, "Why don't you have your paperwork, attorney?" "Oh, I had to bring that to court." Oh my God, this is seriously no joke. This is, again, once again, documented on court records. He didn't know he was supposed to bring paperwork. Oh my God. I mean, so many things that we went through with that attorney, and then he didn't even finish filing for everything. We ended up having to pay off the liens on the house because he didn't even know how to take care of that. How did he pass law school? How? You don't know you're supposed to bring paperwork to court? Oh yeah, that's right. I had my attorney in my divorce who didn't know you were supposed to file in court to ever get a motion heard. He didn't know that? I mean, this is beyond. These are lives at stake all the way around. This is beyond absurd, and this is 110% documented and provable. Everything I say is unbelievable. You understand why I'm so emotional? Because this is my life that's coming to an end because of all of these people and these systems who were supposed to protect us, protect our children. Instead, they said, we don't give a... So you have your ignorant attorneys. Your other group of bad attorneys are the corrupt ones, and I mean they are absolutely corrupt. Unbelievable. It's been... We know it. I mean, this isn't even... I don't even need to explain it, do I? They're corrupt. But yet they're rich and powerful. I'm tired of it. Tired of it. God, there's so many stories I could tell. How many attorneys, I see just tens of thousands of dollars and dragging out cases for years. Here's one I talk the truth on both sides. Here's one where a woman with a 6-year-old little girl, her ex was absolutely crazy, locked in a mental institute, robbed her whole bank account, ran off to Florida, having affairs and partying it up, and they got divorced. She finally divorced him. It wasn't the first time he'd even done that. But then he bought a bar with her money. God, I mean, it's on both sides, and it's just the court system support the women, and that's where, and it's unbelievable. I mean, everything I've said and talked about, I don't care about man, woman. All I care about are rights and children. I don't care about what the sex is. And neither should the judge, but that's all they look at least in these court systems that I'm in. These attorneys, though, I mean, this woman went to pick up her daughter from her dad's apartment, found needles, drugs, found a GPS tracker on her car that he put there and was showing up when she'd leave the house, and oh, she's at this place, and he'd just magically show up where she was all the time and destroy her life, make scenes, and screw with her. Nobody cared. The daughter making complaints that dad's bringing home drunk women from the bar constantly and making out with them and getting them practically naked on the couch, taking off their clothes right in front of their 6-year-old daughter. Drugs, needles, abuse, neglect of a child. And after 2 years and $20,000 she had paid her attorney, nothing had changed. If there's a child in danger, why does it take years, tens of thousands of dollars, and still nobody does nothing about it? Because they're corrupt. It's all about the money. I should have known better when my attorney pulled up in a $100,000 convertible Mercedes that, oh, this is a messed up person right here. Instead, my first thought was, hey, this must be a good person. Look at how they look on the surface. This is how I've learned. This is how I've learned that is not what's important. That actually proves to me now that you're a corrupt person. Nobody needs that kind of money. And my attorney did the same thing to me. Just took my money and dragged out the case. Took more money, dragged out the case. Took more money and dragged out the case. Took more and never made it anywhere. almost $10,000 I'm in, paying her cash out of my pocket to fight for my kid and my rights. But then she left the cat out of the bag. Oh yeah, when me and the opposing counsel were out to dinner the other night. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say that. Oh, deer in headlights. And she literally looked me right in the face and shrugged her shoulders. Like, oh, you can't do nothing about it. She didn't say that, but gave me the whole deer in the headlights. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say that. And literally shrugged her shoulders right in front of me. And then continued talking. So how can you tell a corrupt court system? Well, here's another lesson learned. I had a good-hearted attorney, a guy who cared about his clients. I was one of his first cases, and I was one of his last because he saw how corrupt that system was. And after court, told me, I'm out of here. I'm so sorry that they're doing this to you. They have no right to do this to you, but my hands are tied. All I can do is present your case. At the end, it's all up to the judge, who is corrupt. And he left that court system in a heartbeat and got out of there because he was a good guy and didn't want nothing to do with that. I've heard this from many attorneys trying to get them to represent me inside the city of Monroe, Michigan. And nobody from Ann Arbor to Detroit to Toledo would touch it because they said, we don't want to see good people go down in that court system. You're going to go down. It don't matter. You're a man. You're done. It doesn't matter what evidence you have. It doesn't matter who you pay how much to represent you. The judge is still not going to side with you no matter what. This is known throughout everywhere. But yet it's allowed to continue. And this is all illegal, unconstitutional, children abused, dead. And they don't give a flying... Oh my God, I've had it. I don't want to start crying again on camera. I hate crying on camera, and I've cut out videos because I cry on camera and stop. Instead, I just smoke my freaking brains out because I can't take the abuse no more. So how do you tell a corrupt court system? Well, let me tell you. By the fact that you look at a court system when it's the same attorneys forever and they don't ever change, that's how you can tell a corrupt court system. Because most of the attorneys out there are actually good-hearted people. But once again, the bad have ruined it for the good everywhere in our life. Everywhere in society, our world, our country, the bad have ruined it for the good all the way around. It doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on. So that's how you can tell a corrupt court system from the other side of the planet. Just look at how the attorneys, who's been there? Do they let new attorneys into the system? Because the only way you get in is if you conform to the system. If you don't conform and you are not corrupt, you better get the hell out yourself, even as an attorney. So right there is how you tell a corrupt court system. You just look at the attorneys. Do they ever get new ones? Anywhere between 35 and 100,000 new attorneys every single year. It tells you an awful lot. Now, here's a statistic I pulled that surprised me and made me think. How do you know a corrupt city and a bad city? Well, let's look at this statistic real quick. 25% out of over a million, I can't remember what it was, 1 point some odd million, it's on the screen, hopefully you can read it. Over 1 million attorneys in our country, and 25% of them reside in 2 states. That leaves me in the state of confusion.